If you can feel other people's energy and you consider yourself to be one who is an empath, and you find yourself constantly tending to the needs of others, then here's 3 things for you to take on your own healing journey. Number 1 is when things start to leave your life, surrender, because those things are no longer in alignment with the vision that you're holding for yourself, this new version of yourself. Maybe you're starting to set healthier boundaries with people. Maybe you're starting to pull your energy away and you see people trying to guilt trip you. You're saying, oh, you used to be like this. However, you're stepping into this new aligned version of you, and things may leave your life. People, places, or things. You might find yourself in a new living situation. People who you thought were your friends aren't your friends anymore. Or you're noticing that they are toxic, maybe slightly narcissistic, and taking the benefit of your energy. So gracefully allow things to leave your life because they're just not in alignment for you. The biggest realization is that those things are no longer serving you. And sometimes you are given the opportunity to know that when something is not serving you, maybe you've been noticing it for a while, this is now your time to be vulnerable and express what is no longer in alignment with you. And that is people, places, or things. Maybe have that uncomfortable conversation. Maybe find a new living environment. This new version of you and where you are heading, you can't stay here. Things are going to shift for you to be here, and it may feel like your life is falling apart. You may have what's called a divine storm, where you are having to find a new living situation. People aren't your friends anymore. And this happened to me. I realized I had people in my life because I was an empath and tending to the needs of others. And yeah, I was getting some validation and approval. Like, if I do this for you, I'm valuable. I'm worthy. Worthiness wound. And once I started pulling my energy away and I started cocooning myself and wanting to do less for others, I became a problem. They tried to guilt trip me. One time I said no to someone who was an ex-friend, and he told me, you only get so many no's. And I'm like, I couldn't even reply. I was in so much shock. And then I ended up helping him anyway. And I felt so guilty. And another time, I did have a divine storm where I had to shift my living situation because my environment got so toxic with the people I was around that I found myself moving in back with my mom. And during that process, I had a concussion. And then I had to take so much time off of work that I got let go from my job. And it was all a blessing in disguise because all those things weren't in alignment for me. It was time for me to shift to doing this and serving others in this deep and meaningful way. And yes, I had to take action. I had to learn how to edit videos, share vulnerably, speak on camera for the world to see. There are going to be roadblocks and things that are new learning experiences for you on your path to the aligned version of you that you want to be. So surrender to the things that are no longer in alignment to you because they're not serving you. And number 2, rest. Because shadow work can become very overwhelming. As you become more aware of deeper parts of yourself and the process starts to intensify, as you start healing, when you start realizing that it's time for you to start protecting your energy, that journey can get very hard and difficult. So it's important to know when it's time to rest. Maybe you do need to cocoon yourself and take a week away from people and stop serving others, because the best thing you can do is be at service of yourself. Once you serve yourself and get your energy aligned and you have extra energy to give, yes, give with kindness and don't expect things in return, because that's just manipulation. And especially if you're trying to get your own worthiness or validation and approval met, because I did that. I was a people-pleasing empath for a very long time, because you can do all this work and do things for others and then burn out. And sometimes you are going to need a day, maybe a week off away from people. I've done it. I've cocooned myself for a week and just watched Netflix, played games, and relaxed. Because even during that time when it feels like you're not doing any work, you're actually doing the biggest work. Rejuvenation of your energy. And during that time, if you ever cocoon yourself and people have issues with it, which I've had people I thought were my friends, and then when I expressed to them, hey, I'm going in cocoon. I need to take some time away from everything because I'm becoming a newer version of myself. And I need to realign my energy and rest and recover. And some people found that as a problem. And that's what I realized. They only like the benefit of my energy. They don't actually care about me. That's how empaths also end up attracting narcissists. So be very aware of that and your own energy field and who is in your life. Because again, with number one, some things may seem like they're no longer in alignment for you. And that's the number one way. And the biggest thing to remember during protecting your energy, if someone tries to guilt trip you, don't concede and say, okay, I'll just go ahead and be who you want me to be because your happiness is so much more important than my happiness. Like, okay. Like, nah, dude. Nah, fuck that. Your friends, your real friends, they're going to care about you and your energy because those aren't your friends. Friends care about you. It's a really good That's a really good way to distinguish who cares and who doesn't, is when they support you or they don't in whatever endeavor you choose to do. So remember, number 2 is rest, because this work can get really tough. And when it feels like you're not making any progress, don't be hard on yourself. Because you, like I said, you can go through a whole week of making all this progress and you take that one day off and you feel like you haven't done shit or whack. It's okay. You're on the right path. You're on track. And number 3, your ego. Your ego wants to keep you safe. And with number 1, things are falling apart. Things aren't in alignment. You may start thinking something's wrong with you. And maybe you should shift back to being this old version of you. Or with number 2, with putting in all this work and diving deep in your shadow, your ego's going to say, why are we doing this? This is stupid. This is intense. This is too hard. We should stop. Your ego wants to keep you safe in what's familiar energy, because that's where it knows it's comfortable. And your ego is your friend. It's giving you an awareness that what you're about to go through is going to be the unknown. You're stepping into the unknown. Because whatever's on the other side of where you want to be, you're going to have to cross that bridge. And this bridge may be super high up. And your ego may be afraid of heights. But on that other side is where everything you want is. That's where the grass is green. And sometimes you just got to take that cute little ego of yours and say, all right, come here, little buddy. It's gonna be okay. I know the bridge is really high. We're gonna take a step. We're just gonna keep taking one foot after the other. It's okay. Come with me. Oh, I'm just kidding. Just joking. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. All right. Let's keep going. Taking another step. So we just keep taking another step over this super high bridge where your ego is scared and doesn't want to look down. And that's okay. You don't have to look down. Oh. Just kidding, dude. My ego, just keep taking another step. I know this work may get hard. I know it may feel like sometimes you want to go back to the old version of you. That old version of you is where it's comfortable. The unknown is where everything you want is. And everything is just a journey. And if you stop yourself from progressing because it gets scary or too hard, or you don't want to look into these feelings and release these traumas of the past, and you want to hold on to something that's like burning, like a rope pulling, and it's a tug of war between, like, I want to feel peace because that other side is peace. And you got this. Let me know if any of this relates to you, if you're an empath going through any of this, and like and subscribe to be notified for when more of my content comes out. Love and light vibration out. Have a wonderful, magnificent, transformative, alchemizing day.